Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make a steamed treacle sponge pudding or a steamed syrup sponge pudding, depending on how you want to look at it. The difference is with this one, because I've done one in the past, is that I'm going to make this in the microwave oven. It's something I've wanted to try for a while, and I've checked a few recipes and they're all pretty similar. Varying in the volume of ingredients and the size of the bowl and such like, but pretty similar in the process. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and for the ingredients I have 125 grams, which is about 9 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter, 125 grams, 13.5 tablespoons of self-raising flour, that's here. If you don't have self-raising flour, you can use the same amount of plain flour and use about 1 1/3 teaspoons, 5 to 6 grams of baking powder. I'd mix that into the flour and that will achieve the same result. I have 125 grams, half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. I have 2 large eggs, which would be extra large in the USA. And for information, out of the shell, these 2 eggs weigh 120 grams. But 2 large eggs will be fine. I'm going to use 120 grams, 6 tablespoons of golden syrup. You could use you could use maple syrup if you wanted to, or corn syrup, though they would change the flavour, but you could use those. I'm going to use the zest of a lemon and 30 millilitres, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm doing that because I want my sponge to have a lemon flavour. But if you want, you can use vanilla instead if you want to, or you can use orange, something like that. And I have 1.5 grams, which is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And the recipe is actually very simple. I should mention that I've taken a 2-pound pudding basin, a plastic pudding basin, and I have buttered it very well, and it has a lid. If you don't have one of those but you have a similar sized bowl, you can use that, whether it's glass or plastic, as long as you end up wrapping it in plastic wrap before it goes into the microwave. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cream my butter and my sugar together just briefly. So I'm going to put the sugar into a larger bowl, and I'm going to add in my lemon zest, and then I'm just going to use my fingers to rub that lemon zest into the sugar, and that's going to help to release the oils which have so much flavour. And that's good like that. So then I'll add in my butter, and you can do this all by hand, and I'm not going to overwork the mixture. I'm just going to use my hand mixer, but I'm not going to overwork it. So I'm just going to cream those together briefly. And that's good enough. So then I'm going to add my eggs in one at a time, and whisk those through. And I'm not going to worry if the egg curdles, because it will come together with the flour. add the second egg. And that's good like that. So I'm just going to scrape the bowl down a little bit. And then I'm going to add in the flour, and I'll do this probably in 2 additions. I'll put about half of it in, and I'm just going to mix that through and put the salt in as well at this stage. And then add in the remaining flour and mix that through. And then I'll pour in my lemon juice. And I'll mix that until that's incorporated. And that's good enough like that. So then we need to put that into our prepared pan, but before we can do that we need to add in the golden syrup. And I'm going to use, as I said, 6 tablespoons, which is about 120 grams, so it's easier for me to squeeze it directly out of my bottle. And you can use less golden syrup if you want to. It's all a matter of taste. Indeed, I've seen some recipes that use more as well. So that just about finished my golden syrup off. I managed to get exactly 120 grams. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon my batter onto the top of that. I'm not going to mix it in. And with the batter spooned in, I'm just going to spread it over to level it off a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that, as you can see, is only about half to 2/3 full, and I'm going to put my lid on like that, and I'm going to cook it in the microwave at 750 watts for about 6 minutes, and then once that 6 minutes is up, I'm going to leave it in the microwave for 3 to 4 minutes, because it's going to be very, very hot, particularly the golden syrup. And I will, after 3 to 4 minutes, I'll carefully take it out, and once I've got it out of the microwave, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I've taken the lid off my bowl after the 6 minutes. Now my pudding mixture actually overflowed a little bit onto the plate of the microwave, but that was fine. I left it for 3 minutes, and then I put it onto this plate to take the lid off. So I'm now going to try to turn it out onto the plate and release the juice, and as you can see, that just flops down. That's quite hot, that bowl. Oops. And that's the pudding cooked quite nicely. So I'm going to just cut that and have a look on the inside. This is the first time I've ever made such a thing in a microwave. And I think that looks very good like that, nice and spongy, as you can see. And I'll have a taste of it. The sponge is lovely and light. I'll have a taste with some where the syrup has soaked in. That is very good. It's ideal served with custard or with some whipped cream. I've tasted it by itself because I wanted to taste the flavour of the lemon, to see how much of that came through, and of the golden syrup, and to get a feel for the texture compared to steaming it in a steamer in a saucepan of water. And this compares very, very favourably. The big difference is that this takes 10 minutes to mix the ingredients, 6 minutes to cook it in the microwave, and 2, 3, 4 minutes to wait before you serve it. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.